Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this week's video, we are going to make some music on the Polyend Tracker Mini. We're going to use a little interview. I find that interviews on YouTube and different websites and everything are really good to kind of take snippets. You can kind of get something, get more emotion or get a feeling from those interviews and put it into your music. And for the one that I've chosen is something that I worked on. It was a little short documentary about a women's cycling team and one of their riders. So I put it in. It's a pretty emotional sort of bit, but I thought I would make a bit of music out of it and yeah, see how it goes. Might not work out, but we'll have a go and we'll have some fun making some music. So without yabbering on too much, so if I go in and you can see I've got tons of samples already loaded in. So I have kicks and claps and snares and everything like that. Let's just start building the track up and building some drums up, and then we can kind of write some chords to go along with it. So let's come in here, we'll go instrument, and we'll try, got a little kick here. And for this, I could even reduce this. Let's go with, let's just start with a simple 4, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. This is 1 bar, so 16 beats, and I'm going to start to build this kick pattern rather. That will be all right. I'm going to put in some claps now, just so we can kind of hear how it is sort of sitting. It's hard just kind of doing it on the tracker sometimes without having something else to kind of play off. So let's go in here. Let's just try this one. Maybe I got these little percussion. I like that, but let's get it there. So I don't mind this, but it's just, it's too rigid. It's like too much on the grid. So let's come across and then we can get this micro move. Reduce that down a little bit. I'm just kind of pushing it back off the grid a little bit. And we'll go again here. I might even try deleting it off there, putting it there. And then putting the micro move on and then really cranking it up. So I've kind of taken it off that and pushed it almost onto the next step. Let's just mess around with this instrument a little bit, the kick. Come on now. And then let's go into here. Let's put a low pass on. And let's bring the volume down. Let's go back in and let's manipulate and kind of shape the little percussive hit a bit more as well. Let's go more, bit of reverb. Let's just pulling that kick down a little bit more. Even though it sounds okay in my headphones, I've found that it can be a little bit loud. And I'll check on the monitors in a little bit because I've kind of messed up videos in the past with that. So have something sort of going there. Let's get some hats going now. Go instrument and then let's go. That's pretty good. I like that. Let's get a little velocity going. And fill. And let's go random. Volume. Maybe that. So maybe go 80, 60 to 80. Just getting a little bit more movement on there. And then what we can also do is just obviously go in, put on that little volume and a little low cut. Let's go more, put some reverb on there. I think that side stick thing is already starting to drive me a little crazy. So what else we got? Let's try with the clap. See what claps we got. Okay, let's go in. Go put some reverb on there as well. Now let me just check that on the monitors and see how we're going. So just check the mix, kind of pulled everything down a little bit, and this is what we got now. Not too bad. Sort of got something going. We can now add some more percussion in there to kind of bolster it out a little bit more. So let's go into track 4. We're Go instrument, and you probably heard when I was going through some of the other bits, we have these other bits. So let's got this. What else we got? I like that. So let's delete that one, and then we can come along. Maybe in here. Let's turn the tempo down just a little bit. I like that. So we can come along again like we have been. Just turn that down a little bit in the mix. And then just take that high end off. Put a little reverb on there. That's pretty good for now. So what I want to do is come across the first MIDI track, and we're going to use some of the techniques or some of the tools that I used before with the chord progressions and how I write them. And for this, I use the Captain chords. I kind of put together something a little bit earlier, but I've done the same thing with Suggester. And as I spoke about in that video, can have Suggester open, kind of have one headphone off, and then you can kind of play along with it. And that's a way that you can write sort of chord progression with the tracker, and then from there you can go, okay, cool, that sounds good. Copy the notes in, and then you kind of build it out from there. I love the tracker and I love the portability of it. The chord function on it is not the best. You're kind of locked in a little bit with what it can offer. So, but sometimes those limitations can be good. So let's go in, go instrument, and then we're going to go to, let's see what we got here. Let's just put in a note. Not that one. Okay, so what we want to do, we're going to delete this out, instrument delete, and we've just got one bar, so we want to extend this out, so we want more, we want the everything spread out a bit. So let's come across, go more, we're going to go to duplicate, duplicate. So now we've got it over 64. Gives us a little bit more room to move when we're kind of writing the pattern. So for this, we're going to go with, let me input some notes. Your D, your G, I think one there. I need to double that out. Let's delete this. And here, G. in here, we're going to go C. And the last one we're going to put in is going to be, I think it's going to be an A. So, okay. So this is going to be, we're going to use the chord function. We're going to come down and where are we? MIDI chord, and if you hit that for the description, it gives you a little bit of a rundown. So we want 037 for minor and 047 for major. So there's our minor chord. Again, 037, we want a minor. This is going to be a C major. And for the major, 047. There we go. And then this one is going to be a minor as well. A minor. Let's go down one octave on the G there. Down one octave on the C. Let's go down one octave on all of them now. Okay, we've got something kind of going there. Let's go in and then let's edit this patch. Got the polyphony. Let's put the polyphony up a little bit more to 5. Let's go into filter. Just increase the envelope amount, and then if we go into the, don't want the amp, we want the mod. Let's have a look, maybe pull that down just a little bit. Go back. Let's get the reverb up. Put that delay down a little bit. And let's pull that gain down. So we have something going there. So now let's come across. to our last track. And I like to use the last tracks to be kind of noise on the 8th. 7th is going to be maybe the vocal sample. So let's go in and let's go instrument. And then I have a bunch of different noises and glitches and stuff like that. So what do we got? Crackle. Maybe go to the note. If we go down, pitching it down, so it's a bit better of a loop. I don't like it when it just stops. Let's come in and start of that, maybe here. That's better. It's just that start bit just had a little bit too much slop on there. Let's go in the old low pass. Put that volume down. And let's put some reverb. There is reverb actually in the sample, but we kind of want it to be a little bit washed in there a bit more. So now that leaves track 7. So track 7, we can start to look at the vocal sample. So let's come in, instrument, and here we go.
Yeah, I'm feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am and yeah, I'm feeling very low today.
So you can hear it's looping constantly on itself because we've only got the 64 beats. So let's just edit the sample a little bit.
Yeah, I'm feeling very low today.
Let's go back.
Yeah, I'm feeling very low today.
Let's get the volume down a little bit. And then one thing that we can use in there is just a chant. So let's go to Effect, come up, and we can use, where are we? Chants. Let's go with
I'm feeling very
50% just for, it's going to happen half the time, but we can.
Yeah, I'm feeling very low today.
Wanted to
realize how lonely I am in general and also just how bad I am at making friends. It's just tough as an adult. Feeling very low today.
Okay, so I'm going to check again on the headphones and then we can move on to adding a little bass, maybe some other percussion in there as well. So it's coming along pretty nicely. So let's go and make a little respace. We try and get something that kind of resembles a respace in there. So let's come in and we can use maybe this one. So I'm just going to copy the same notes that the pad's playing, and then we can maybe try with a slide or something like that. But I mean, I find that when I go too deep on the tracker, it's like, okay, you could spend 10, 15, 20 minutes trying to do one thing, or you get a general idea, and then when you bring it into Logic, Ableton, whatever, that's when you can make these little fine details that take you 10 seconds to really push the track up. So let's go, we're in a D, and this is G, yeah, C, and go A. Got to get it into that bass register. Whoa, okay, let's go back. Oh, not that one. Back here. There we go. Bass track. For this one I'm using the VAP. Let's have a look. And I want to detune. I use the VAP because it allows you to detune one from the other. So if I start to increase this, let's go back out to the track. You can hear a little bit of movement, but we can definitely get some more going on. Let's turn that envelope down. I think it might honestly be too low, like note-wise. I think that's a little bit better. Let's go envelope. just trying to sort of tweak that envelope a little bit. So I've gone and messed with the envelope so it kind of it's a little bit smoother at the start, but I want a little bit less of that envelope. Maybe a little bit of resonance. Let's go out. Let's pull that down in volume. The bass is okay.
Feeling very low today.
Not super sold on it, but for the purpose of this, we'll go with
Realize
it.
how lonely I am in general, and also just how bad I am at making friends. It's just tough as an adult. It can be really lonely.
So now I have a couple other little bits and pieces that we can put in.
Feeling very low.
So let's go to instrument, and then I have these other little bits and pieces down.
Also just how bad I am at making friends. It's just tough as an adult. It can be really lonely.
What's this low drone?
You don't have, that person in your life that you just crave being around and
Whoa. So let's go in. It sounds good, but it is so loud. Oh, we want to instrument. What else did I have on here? Delete, 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 delete. Whoops. Let's try this one. Okay. Let's try and put it on here. Low drone. Okay, like I said, it's really good, but it's too much going on. Put the volume down. Maybe try a little high pass. Pull the volume down a little bit, flick over. We'll go put a bit of reverb on there.
Yeah, feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am in general. Yeah,
Get less volume of the low drone thing.
Realize how lonely I am in general, and also just how bad I am at making friends.
Okay, now we're starting to build it up a little bit more. Let's go across to
You don't have
MIDI track 11. And then I want a little turnaround effect. I want something to kind of tie it all together. So for this, I'm going to use the other little,
realize how lonely I am in general. Feeling very
let's go, little note in there.
I realize how lonely I am in general. Feeling very low today.
Let's go like that.
I realize how lonely I am in general. Feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am in general, and also just how bad
Let's try going
making friends.
down.
It's just tough as an adult. It can be really lonely sometimes when you don't
I like
have
that, but it is way too loud.
that you just crave being around and genuinely wants to be around you too. I really miss that. Yeah, feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am in general. Yeah, feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am in general.
So it's in there, but it's just a little bit low.
Making friends, it's just tough as an adult. It can be really lonely sometimes when you don't have
Maybe a little bit more delay, a little bit less reverb.
that. You're just, yeah, feeling very low today.
I don't mind it.
Realize how lonely I am and yeah, feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am and yeah, feeling very low today.
I think it's just not, the notes are not in the right spot. Let's go delete this one, delete this one. Maybe go here and here. It's all going to be the same note for now, but we can kind of play with it.
I realize how lonely I am and yeah, feeling very low today.
Delete that, there.
Realize how lonely I am and yeah, feeling very low.
Let's take the delay off.
I realize how lonely I am and yeah, feeling very low today.
No, let's delete, 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 delete.
Realize how lonely I am in general and also just how bad I am at making friends. It's just tough as an adult. It can be really, yeah, feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am and yeah, feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am and yeah, feeling very low today.
Just trying to find something that's going to work.
Realize how lonely I am in general and also just how bad I am at making friends. It's just tough as an adult. It can be really, yeah, feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am in general and also just how bad I am at making friends. It's just tough as an adult. It can be really, yeah, feeling very low today. I realize how lonely I am in general and
That's pretty good.
also just how bad I am at making friends. It's just tough as an adult. It can be really lonely sometimes when you don't have
Let's go in here. Let's put that delay back up again.
that. You just
I think we come up with something pretty decent. We have a little chord progression, a little bass line to go with it.
low today.
We have a little vocal sample there coming in, and the start of a little drum, like little drum loop there. I think it's a pretty good idea. It's come together. From here, I would definitely put it into Logic and then start to develop the idea a little bit more. And then from there, see how it goes. The thing that I do love about the Tracker Mini is being able to pump out these super quick ideas, pull in a bunch of samples, use some synths and kind of get something going. And you're kind of not bombarded by options. You can, with your inside Logic or Ableton or whatever you use, you can kind of get overloaded with how many plugins and everything you have. I find that this has a really good amount of samples and synths to get you going, get ideas going. I would love some improvements on the chord feature. I sold my M8, but the M8's chord feature, I found it was just a lot more intuitive, and I could kind of get those chord shapes that I was after a little bit more. Here, you're a bit limited. I don't know if you can do inversions and all that sort of stuff. So whilst this is good, I would like a little bit more, but this isn't about creating full songs. For me, it's just about getting sketches going, getting the ideas going, and then getting them into the computer and develop them further. So hopefully you got something out of this video, and until next time, see you later.